Watch me pull this off. Good morning, everybody. This is Jack Gleason with StartupTrading.com. It's 9:02 in the morning on February 19th, 2021. About a year from the pandemic highs. Kind of crazy to think back on a year, and we were still soaring into 2020 highs, and then shit hit the fan. Anyways, the title of this video is Gold is Broken Shorts, and we actually, for the first time in a few, at least a week, we have broken the hourly short trend. And the reason that's significant here, and I've been talking about it for quite some time, is this level in gold from the lows of 2020 to the highs of 2020 is absolutely massive. It's absolutely massive. And that level is 1770. It initially traded in November. We rallied and then right up into the short. So out of that low, we staged a rally up until 1930. I mean, I think gold's going back up higher. It has absolutely been in a downtrend here and has not been a tradable instrument to the long side. But we've spent, this is now the third day, and we very well could go outside on this candle with just a move of in 4 more points, which is most likely, I mean, we're just hopping right now. 4 more points, gold goes outside day. So what I want to show you guys is that I believe the trend break is coming out of these highs. We had a 50% retracement short that goes back to the February, what is that, February 10th or something, and then that completes. There is a high to low that completes on last Tuesday, or actually, sorry, this Tuesday, and then we had a high to low, and then that completed, and then we had a high to low, and that has failed to continue down into its target. It was like, you can consider it a failed target hit. It was 2 points away, and this next measured move has officially broken. You can see it was getting sold into all night long below this 1770 level, or I'm sorry, below the 1774 level. There was sellers, and then literally within the last hour, we have broken that trend. Now here's a question. Now that we've broken the short trend, does gold finally start to hold longs again? And for me, I've been watching this level for a couple of days because it's such a big level, such a big weekly level. This is important to watch, in my opinion. So we have this traditional that's just gone straight to its negative 61. I'm just going to take this low here from this morning. You can use the 6 o'clock or even 8 o'clock low for more of a front run, and just watch this next traditional. And if we begin just like we did to the upside, holding these halfway back longs, and this might be worth it for you guys to like swing like a micro contract, like an MGC, over the course of whatever time frame happens, because this is the first entry into a potential daily trend, just because we're bottom of the range, halfway back. Basically, I call it a halfway back for the year, but it's a halfway back of the year of 2020, and it's just retesting here this year, and we're breaking short. So this is a pretty significant development here today in gold. I mean, the indexes we'll go over those as well. Those had some interesting developments. The ES, I got super bearish last night with my thesis. So we've been holding these extensions at 38.94s. There's what 38.94. There's a 38.97, and yesterday going into the close, we basically were front run on what was the full 50% retracement short from highs. Let me turn on that extended session. That high to low was front run on its 50% retracement short, and then in the after hours, we actually had extensions into the close. Those extensions broke. We traded a 50% retracement short. That 50% retracement short blew through profit targets. We had an extension. That extension completed. And as we were getting into this low of 94s, like, I knew if we opened below today at 3,900, I thought this market was getting smoked. Anyways, that didn't happen. We had a same anchor new low. That same anchor new low broke, and we began once again respecting the 38.94 support level. So on that higher time frame, it was just another retest. We broke the short trend on the smaller time frame, and we just went straight back up. So going into today, this is what I'm going to be looking for that I think is going to be pretty interesting. This is what the market looked like going into close. There was this traditional out of the lows of around 12 o'clock, totally blew through profit targets, and then we traded this extension, this 39.08 at the close. 39.08, I was looking for that like all day long. I traded right at the close. The Dow had an extension at the close. Russell had an extension at the close. As we go into the open, we're trading 39.25s, which is going to be right on this negative 23% profit target, or within a point or two, assuming we open up here. We got 23 minutes left. Once we complete regular trading hours, it's just going to be a same anchor new high, and I'm going to draw that same anchor new high in the ES to whatever the high is once the market opens, which I don't know yet. So I'm not going to adjust this draw. I'm just going to tell you guys that's what I'm going to do. So if we open up at, let's say we open up right where we're at right now, 29.26. I'll just take this draw it up to 29.26, and we'll need to stay above that extension to continue going up. But that'll be the pullback I will look for here this morning, and I'll just be patient for it. Moving on to the Russell, which the Russell that 20 is like, it was like a 2208, this 2208, 2207 area, this big 50% retracement traded at 10 o'clock yesterday, tagged it. That level was marked up in the morning trade plan. It was just a great reaction out of those lows. Now, we dipped in the overnight session as things were getting, I thought we were maybe going to really, really go there when we were dipping at 10 o'clock, but we didn't fully break down. We had some shorts, so shorts broke, and we ended up rallying the entire night up into what is the resistance I was hoping we'd rally to yesterday, which is the same anchor new low, 50% retracement short at 22.46. This 22.46 has traded multiple times. We traded it. This goes all the way back to Tuesday. We started trading it in Tuesday's close. Overnight it traded. It traded again in the morning. It traded again in the afternoon and completed targets. And here it is trading again. 22.46 as far as the fib sequence has been very bearish. Now, the Russell was the weakest market yesterday, so this is something to most definitely be aware of. If we break above the 22.56, to me that's an invalidation of the short trend on the higher time frame. However, it is important to note that this is what, going into the overnight session, what do we do? Once again, I'm going to totally eliminate what happened overnight. We're going to go RTH. There was a halfway back long at close. That halfway back long has completed its negative 23% profit target, which is also right at this resistance. So I'm going to, wherever we open, I'm just going to use the regular trading hours. I'm going to ignore the extended session in the Russell, and I'm going to take this low from 5 minutes before the market close to wherever the high is, and that's the pullback I'll look for. So just once again getting rid of that overnight session, because that overnight session had I think it just had a lot of price action that so far has worked. Like you've had an extension sequence in the overnight, but I'm going to go in just looking at that regular trading hours. Oil here. Oil traded the extension all the way to the 61.8. Big move yesterday. Oil did roll over its futures contract. We're now in the April contract on Tradovate. I believe that's CLJ1. The support I have is a 59.31, and out of those highs yesterday, we had a 50% retracement short that traded to its profit target. There was a next measured move that traded through its profit target, and then we had an extension. That extension broke, and that's when the longs started holding. But this support level, guys, oil's been in a super aggressively bullish trend. The higher time frame support is a 59.31. Ideally, I'd like a trade location somewhere closer to that for a long setup. So I'm just going to mark up that 59.31 and continue to pay attention to that level in the oil market. Moving on now to the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, we had this major support level at 13,502. 13,502. And this was from the extension. Now, yesterday, this is what we were watching. We had two tests of it. The first test, pretty aggressively dipped in, but it's a huge level. It was dipped in by like 30-some points, but this profit target's like 500 points. So we had a second test around, was at 12 o'clock, and that is just what began the rocket ship of a rally that the NASDAQ staged the rest of the day. We were basically straight up 160 points from that point forward in a very short period of time. The Nasdaq, the last moves in the Nasdaq, same thing. Once we open, I'm nixing this overnight session. I don't want to look at it. I want to look at the regular trading hours. The extension that was trading the Nasdaq into the close is from 13,568. Okay, I'm just gonna leave the old draw up there right now. That upside target is 13,693. We're trading 13,705. So we're above those profit targets. Assuming we open up here, we're gonna have a completion in the regular trading hours, and it's gonna be a same anchor new high. So we gotta wait. We gotta wait for the levels. I'll give you guys them. I won't even share my levels this morning until the market opens, and then I'll share them because all of them are gonna basically adjust as soon as the market opens. And then last but not least, the super uber technical YM. YM has the most aggressive bid here. I mean, it just fell. It honestly has the least volatility. Like we fell the least. We held the most aggressive setup in the Dow, 31,303. We held it Wednesday. We held it Thursday. We held it in the overnight. Super technical. Upside targets here in the Dow, 31,869. What are we going to do? Same thing we're doing in all the other markets. Getting rid of the extended session, drawing the extension, waiting for the open, and drawing a same anchor new high. Upside target in the Dow is 31,527. We're currently not above that target. We're above that target in the ES. We're above that target in the Nasdaq. We are not above it in the Dow. So this draw would not be adjusting just quite yet. And then for the bearish case, if something crazy happens, if these extensions break, I do fully believe we're going to get completely smoked. But they tried last night. We held retests. We didn't get smoked. The bulls live another day. And above all of those daily extensions, we're bullish at this point in time. If we start losing the 2207 in the Russell, if we start losing 13,502 in the Nasdaq, if we start losing 3894s in the ES, maybe sayonara, right? That's when I really think we could get hit. But at this point in time, we've bounced dramatically out of the lows. We have long sequences that are going to be trading at the open, but I'm going to be removing the extended session. So with that being said, I will wait to share my levels with you guys here once the market opens. And we'll take it from there. Everybody have a wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. I will be heading back to the United States in the near future. So see you guys on that side of the world for those of you guys who live there. Take care.